Hello, everybody. I'm so happy tonight. We're gonna meet Kwasi. Kwasi, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing. Thanks. I'm really doing really good. How are you?
All good. Thank you so much for asking. It's funny because we actually never met.
Yeah.
We were talking on Instagram because we have similar interest in
Mm,
sport, community, music, and everything. So,
yeah.
can you please introduce yourself in few words? Who are you?
All right, guys. I'm Kwasi. I am a coach, football coach. I'm also a facilitator at Hackney Account, which is a youth-led stop and search monitoring group, which helps a lot of young people in the London Borough of Hackney deal with violence from the police. So yeah, and I pretty much help them with pretty much resilience. So yeah, which is in
Okay.
the title. Yeah.
Perfect. I can't wait to go deep into this subject
Yeah.
because this topic of this episode is the importance of big brothers in the
Mm,
neighborhood. And for my story, how
yeah.
big brothers had an impact on my life is that when I was 14, I knew I
Mm,
wanted to be an artist. I wanted to sing, but my parents did not want it to.
yeah.
So this is thanks to my big brothers, who helped me told me like to come to the studio, to the recording studio. They were training me, uh,
Mm,
helping me to writing my first takes. I was recording with them, so I was like they were supporting me all times. They were giving me
mm,
so many opportunities, and at one point, they are the one who gave me the trust that I have now in myself,
mm.
and they put me in the journey of love yourself. And I know that I am the fruit, of
Yeah,
of all of them. I am the
totally.
product of all of
100%.
them. And until now, every time I have big decision to make in my life, I always think about everything they told me, like all
Yeah,
because I'm so grateful that we come from soccer because like we have the African values, like love,
yeah,
sharing, transmission. And I love the fact that our big brother teach us and now we need to teach to our younger brothers and sisters. So let's
absolutely.
let's go deep into the topic. But first,
Yeah.
can you talk to me about your passion for soccer?
Yeah, you know what? This picture definitely gives me memories. It definitely gives me it makes me it makes me happy, you know. So we were at Crystal Palace in this particular picture, and this is pretty much the pinnacle of what I wanted to do and what I'm still doing right now. So we went to Crystal Palace and we took our team, the team I manage, to play Crystal Palace's youth team, and a few players got scouted. And backtracking on that, how I got into coaching was through community work, was actually
Okay.
through justice work.
Okay.
So the good thing about that was I was at a protest, I think when before the pandemic came around, and it was pretty much in the area I coach, and it was about the injustice in terms of youth and etc. So after the protest, I went around to the shops, and then I went past the area where I used to train, actually play football as a kid, and I actually played for this club as a kid, and then
Okay.
I actually walked by one of my old teammates who's now a coach as well. He knew my face,
Oh,
I saw his face, and I was like, oh,
amazing.
oh my days. And we just started talking, and I was actually manifesting to actually be a coach. I was actually thinking, oh, how can I get a job, like not even a job, like an opportunity in coach, starting out. And yeah, the way the universe brings people together, that was, I think, 5 years ago. So far it's good. I've got a lot of young players in academies, and yeah, it's it's just amazing on my behalf. That's where
Mm.
things start. And the beautiful thing about this is I came off the back of finishing semi-professional football as well. So
Wow.
I needed to continue because I have a big love
Yes.
for soccer. So it's and it's a blessing. I mean, the main coach, the senior coach, is is my teammate's dad. So me and him get along,
Okay.
and yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So
Okay. And how old are the children?
okay, so this group in particular, these were the under 11s at the
Okay.
time. Yeah, so this was like a year ago. So this is the under 11s, but I coached under sevens to under 16s.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, beautiful.
yeah,
Beautiful. Okay. And I'm gonna talk to you about accounts. How do you
yeah,
empower young people through this project? Crazy. This project is amazing.
yeah. This project is everything, man. It's part of me. It's part of my heart.
Hmm.
I got into this project because I personally was sick and tired of the injustice, that's happening to us. I'm sure you're from France. You hear about the police
Of course,
and what they
and
do.
before you go into it, I wanted to
Yeah,
ask you if you know this story that happened in France with
yeah.
Theo. It's a young black boy that were arrested in France in his city, and he gets raped by the thing that police use
The
when
baton.
to pitch, yeah, the baton, and
Yeah.
they raped him with this, and it's like it was the thing that happened that never happened. Like
Yeah.
they kill us, they beat us, but this part, like to rape, I mean, they are doing everything,
Mm,
and like I don't have the words for it, but
mm,
so yes, like we experiment the exact same thing in
mm.
every countries, like that
Yeah.
you're from US, that where I'm from Paris, that you're from
Mm,
UK, like it's always the same shit that's happening, and I love the fact that you are helping people that to heal also from this.
yeah. You know, that's the thing. Even though I'm doing the work, as a facilitator and as a researcher in this particular project, we also keep an eye on what's happening around the world because it's all a collective. The
Mm.
same thing in Brazil, the same thing even in Africa as well. The way the police get bribed, but going back to Hackney account, we specify in cracking down on cases when it comes to innocent young people who have
Mm.
been unjustly called from for the police, people in custody, families, young children. And my particular role is doing research in terms of the stop and searches.
Okay.
Now with the stop and searches, there's a lot of unjust stop and searches, especially in the London area, mainly East London. And when we call them the Metropolitan Police here, when they come here, when they stop people of color, they say, "Oh, it's suspect profiling," but
Yes.
they will cover that when it's really racial profiling, and that's where we bring in the victims, and then we literally we give them classes in terms of knowing your rights, knowing that the way
Mm.
what the police are doing, they're manipulating, they're abusing their power on you, just like how you said about what happened in France with the baton. That's what the police are doing. They abuse their power, you know,
Yes.
on young people, especially us. So so what we do is we just run classes. We definitely empower them. Like as you can see in this picture, we had a summit in Hackney, and there was a video crew, and we talked about a lot of stories. We talked about a lot of really really positive but negative stories in terms of the community history, past, and what we no no past, present, and what we aim for the future as well. So
Mm.
um, yeah, the project we're doing is pretty good, and we're always improving. We're getting funding,
Okay.
uh, and yeah, and any youth that's in trouble, you know, we
They can
help.
find
So
you.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay. So you listen to them, you help them, you educate them, you empower
Mm.
them, and I love the fact that you use also like multiple tools, like you are doing open mic, you are
Yeah.
also doing podcast, you are how like can you tell me everything you are putting in place to help them?
Yeah, so yesterday we had a diversity training session in terms
Mm.
of in terms of understanding different cultures. Like for example, we're from Hackney. I'm sure the neighborhood I grew up in is similar to your neighborhood.
Yes.
Very very diverse, different kinds of music, different kinds of
Yes.
cultures. That's what makes me a cultured guy, a cultured person.
Mm.
And in that learning, we came out thinking, why can't the police be this way? But because they work in the system, they're so rigid. So with that, it's good to see that there's a lot of youngsters that are involved in open mic. We're still we're still trying to get our podcast thing going, because there's so much going on. We need time and space to do the podcast so we can actually get episodes, because we have people that that want to come on and actually tell their stories. We have so many stories.
Yes,
So
that's the
yeah,
point.
even you one day can come along and
I would love
definitely
to.
yeah. Yeah, but you know what, I'm surprised and happy about the musical side of things
Mm.
in the account. We have a lot of artists. We have definitely a lot of poem artists as well. So
Okay.
yeah, the music side of things is really really good. Definitely really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And so now, can you talk to me about the importance of big brothers in neighborhood? And did you have some big brothers who helped you when you were young?
Yeah, I had a lot of big brothers, man. Growing up, I grew up in a obviously this is pre all the work stuff. When I was a kid, I grew up with all kinds of brothers. I had brothers from different faiths. Everybody was streetwise. Everybody was out on the street, um, doing their thing, telling you how to maneuver in life. And then obviously when you grow up, everybody goes their way, but we still remember each other, and we still are a community. So with this picture here, it was a big um, it was definitely a big meaning in terms of where we've come, how far we've come,
Okay.
because our project, we managed to create a report. Obviously, we've got the report in our hands,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a big crowd. We had so many copies. They read through, they saw the statistics, the analytics, and the importance of Big Brothers in the neighborhood is that we are the brothers. Actually,
Yes.
we are the ones that are telling the younger generation that there is hope.
Yes.
um, there is there is there's triumph, because
Mm.
the history is there, and we can always turn it around, as long as we're in the right mindset, and the justice can be achieved. um
Mm.
I also wanted to add to this as well. When institutions look at us doing these kind of projects off the back of independence, off the back of our own funding,
Mm.
a lot of people, they who don't look like us, they want to talk about us, but they
Yes.
don't want to talk to us.
Yes.
So this is where we have to feel. This is where we're strong in terms of our own community, and
Yes.
in terms of delivering and executing what we need to do to help the people, give
Yes.
people hope. So, and to
Yes.
give them a source of identity, a safe place,
Yes.
a safe space.
And it's so important what you are saying, that we are doing for us by us, and
Yeah,
this
yeah,
have no price, because I remember I was in this project that was, like this kind of thing, like, yeah, we are helping these young people from suburb and everything,
yeah,
but the problem is, like, they use us, sometimes they use this image of, oh, like, still in the, we're going to save them, like, still from this
yeah,
image of colonization, like, oh,
yeah.
the poor kids, we're going to save them, we're going to give a bit of money. And the problem is that they
Mm,
don't have our codes, and they don't know us, and sometimes they're going to say things that are wrong, like, I remember,
mm,
like, I had this opportunity in this kind of program to go in a business school for free for 3 months. It was
okay.
really nice, really cool. But
Yeah,
there were files that were not supposed to be sent to one of my classmates,
yeah,
and they were classifying us by skin color.
yeah.
Can you imagine?
That's the
They were
and
classifying.
yeah, and I want to add to that as well. Look, so this is gonna be good. So there was a period of time when last year I was doing a range of classes. I was doing a lot of class sessions, and a lot of the youngsters had to have a conversation with their parents, especially the youngsters that were second generation, so born here. Their parents are from Africa. They, after my classes, they went to their parents and asked them, "Why did you call me these European names, British names, like John and all this and that?" And
Mm,
their response is, "So you can have a better life in this country." But
mm,
what do you call it? Subconsciously, when you look at it, the reason why those names happen is because for you to get through the system, if you didn't keep your African name,
mm.
there's a source of discrimination. So what you said, absolutely, is
Yes.
it's a name thing. Like look at me, my name is not really
African
European.
name.
Yeah, it's completely African. But I've done well for myself. I'm still fighting. So
Mm,
if they can see me on teaching them, there's hope. So
mm.
just these little things, these
Yes, it's
microaggressions.
true. It's true because at the end we erase our name, we erase our identity. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
right.
yeah,
And to finish on this story, of this program where I've been part of, at one moment we were in the class in the class with this guy, where the head of something for Coca-Cola or something,
yeah.
and at one moment he made a joke and he used the N-word. You know what
Oh,
I'm
for
saying?
real?
So,
Oh, wow.
and I refused to continue to to sit at the class, and I was like,
No.
damn, like they are doing something that are supposedly um be for us, but at the
Yeah,
end of the day we don't find ourselves in this program, and we are even being discriminated in this and not respected in
yeah.
this.
It's
So
ridiculous.
yes, it's ridiculous, and I love the fact that when I saw your project I say, hey, this is for us and by us,
Yes,
so nobody
absolutely.
can take part, like can edit or modify our history. We are writing our own history.
Yeah, it's a legacy, man. It's a
Yes.
legacy. Um, yeah,
It's amazing how we know we can be in the same configuration, even if we were not in the same country. We did not grow up in the same country, but we face the same problem. It's
yeah,
it's crazy. And what
yeah,
are the next projects for you?
yeah. So the next project is so with Hackney accounts. I was gonna say we're gonna do a lot of traveling. So
Mm,
we've already been to Amsterdam. We've already been to Scotland for a summit. To obviously show what we do, to see how things are in those parts of the world. But I'm really looking forward to 2025 and the back end of this year because we're going to go to New York,
oh,
and we're going to meet up with similar organizations like us and see
okay,
how the climate in America is in terms of policing. So it's going to be really interesting. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So it's going
Oh,
to be cool. Yeah, and with the
this is
football as yeah, and with the football as well. Yeah, just keep grinding. Keep getting players into academies. Taking them literally off the street, training them up, and
mm,
yeah, just getting them contracts really. So
wow. So
yeah,
so you are with them until the point they sign a contract in another club, big club?
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's been players who's joined big clubs, so it's
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So nice. Okay, I think we talk about the importance of Big Brothers in neighborhood. That was the
yeah,
main topic, and I'm so happy that you were here for me with me to talk about everything that you are doing. Do you have a last word to end the episode?
yeah. It's been a pleasure being on your podcast. You're doing a really amazing project.
Thank you
It's
so much.
really important to spread awareness in terms of what we're doing. That's coming from our hearts. To change the world. So
Mm,
yeah,
let's
everybody
change. Mhm.
everybody that's associated with your podcast, everybody that I'm working with, me, yeah, we have to make a change in the world. We have to make a
Yes.
legacy. So yeah,
True, true. Thank you so much, Kwasi, to share with me your story, and let's change the world with positivity and love.
definitely, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kwasi. Ciao, ciao.
Uh,